Supplements is commonly one of the first places that people will look when it comes to changing their body composition, but honestly, it should be one of the last. Especially for fat loss, they have a pretty marginal effect on your results, but there are going to be some exceptions here. So today I'm going to give you 5 that will have a potential positive benefit, what the science says, the dosages to use, and some additional considerations as well. First on the list is protein powder. And protein powder is a really good supplement to use for a variety of reasons. First, a high protein diet is going to help you stay fuller for longer. Something I like to say to my clients is that when it comes to fat loss, calories are king, but hunger management is queen. And if you're managing your hunger well, you're going to have a much easier time losing fat. Second, most people who want to lose fat will have an overarching goal of improving their body composition. And body composition changes are a two-sided coin. On one side you have fat loss, and on the other you have muscle gain. Provided that you're doing resistance training, supplementing with protein powder can be a great way of adding additional protein to your diet and thus helping you to build that lean muscle mass that improves your body composition. Finally, protein powder is so versatile. You can have it on the go, and you can use it in a variety of recipes, including protein porridge, protein pancakes, protein ice cream, and protein balls. We typically recommend that you use whey protein due to its excellent amino acid profile, but you can also use non-dairy alternatives like beef protein isolate, soy protein, and vegan blends. Number 2 on the list is caffeine. Caffeine is going to help you lose fat through a variety of different mechanisms. The first and most pronounced benefit of caffeine in relation to fat loss is its use as an appetite suppressant. I think it's particularly useful to combine caffeine with an intermittent fasting approach for fat loss because you can be sipping on a black coffee or a sugar-free energy drink during your fasting window, and this can make it a little bit easier to manage that hunger. Second, because caffeine is a central nervous system stimulant, it may also encourage you to move a little bit more, and this is important because fat loss is not just a consequence of reducing your calorie intake, but also increasing your energy expenditure. Finally, caffeine can have a direct impact on lipolysis, which is just a fancy term for fat loss, and this is done by increasing levels of cyclic adenosine monophosphate in the blood. If you want to supplement with caffeine for fat loss, I'd recommend shooting for the lower dosages of around 100 to 200 milligrams, and then as the fat loss phase progresses and hunger increases, you can titrate up the dose. Before we move on, a very important point to note with caffeine here is that it's not worth interrupting your sleep so that you can supplement with high levels of caffeine, because sleep has an absolutely crucial role to play when it comes to successfully losing body fat. Number 3 on the list is 5-HTP or 5-hydroxytryptophan. 5-HTP is a precursor to serotonin, which a lot of people will associate with happiness and contentment, even though this is kind of a low resolution way to view it. By supplementing with 5-HTP, you can see an improvement in serotonin signaling in the body, and there are a few studies that show this has positive impacts on reducing appetite and cravings. Because 5-HTP is also involved in the production of melatonin, it may also have a positive impact on your sleep if you take it in the evening. As I mentioned earlier, if we can improve sleep parameters, you may see an improvement in your ability to lose body fat. If you're using 5-HTP for appetite suppression, you can start with 300 to 500 milligrams around 30 minutes before a meal. An important disclaimer here is that you should not use 5-HTP with any medications that affect serotonin, such as antidepressants or monoamine oxidase inhibitors. And you should always consult your doctor before using a supplement like 5-HTP. Number 4 is fiber supplementation. Earlier I spoke about protein's effect on satiety, and this is where fiber comes into play as well. Generally, we want to try and get fiber from the diet through sources like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, beans, and lentils. As a general rule, we want to try and get 10 to 15 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories consumed. But higher intakes have also been shown to have further health benefits, particularly around gut and cardiovascular health. A common fiber supplement that I'll recommend to clients is psyllium husk, and this is because it's generally well tolerated by the gut. If you're using a fiber supplement, start with a relatively low dosage of around 5 grams and make sure to combine this by drinking around 250 ml of water as well. If your digestive system finds this okay, then you can increase the dose. The final one on this list is yohimbine. Yohimbine is one of the supplements on this list that I'd recommend the least, and it's unnecessary for the vast majority of people. Yohimbine works by increasing levels of adrenaline in the body and by inhibiting receptors on fat cells that would normally stop fat loss from occurring. Because of its stimulatory effects, it can also raise heart rate and increase anxiety, and this is part of the reason why I don't usually recommend it. It might have some utility for those of you that are looking to get super shredded for a bodybuilding show or a photo shoot and just need something a little bit extra to get that last few pounds off. If you want to supplement with yohimbine, Caffeine, start with a dosage of around 0.2 milligrams per kg of body weight. Similar to 5-HTP, we want to be cautious of our use with yohimbine because of its interactions with certain medications. So as always, consult your doctor before thinking about using it. So you can see here that there are some supplements that can be pretty helpful when it comes to a fat loss phase, but the list is overall pretty limited. Making smart decisions with your calories, your food selection, increasing your energy expenditure, looking after sleep hygiene and stress management will create the bulk of your results.